everyone, and welcome to Talk English Every Day.
Hi, everyone. We're very happy you're here practicing English with us today.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Romeo, and we are genuinely happy to see you again.
Whether you're studying English seriously,
Or simply enjoying a calm moment of learning.
welcome to our slow English conversation practice.
This is a place where you can listen carefully, speak slowly, and improve your English step by step.
A place where everyday conversations help you understand how English is really used.
And today, we are going to explore a very interesting English word.
The word actually.
This small word appears everywhere in English conversations.
Yes, but many English learners feel unsure about how to use it naturally.
Sometimes people think actually simply means in fact.
And sometimes that is true.
But in real conversations, the word actually has several useful meanings.
It can help correct information,
It can help add surprising information.
and sometimes it simply makes a sentence sound softer or more natural.
Let's begin with a simple situation.
Imagine two friends talking about the weather.
One friend says, "It looks like it will rain today."
The other friend checks the weather forecast.
The friend says, "Actually, it will be sunny later this afternoon."
In this example, the word actually introduces correct information.
The speaker is politely correcting what the other person said.
This happens very often in English conversations.
Let's imagine another small conversation.
Two coworkers are talking during lunch.
One coworker says, "I heard you live in this neighborhood."
The other coworker smiles and replies, "Actually, I live in the next neighborhood."
That is another gentle correction.
Yes, the speaker is not disagreeing in a strong way.
The word actually makes the corrections sound friendly.
Let's imagine another everyday situation.
A friend asks a question.
The friend says, "Do you drink coffee every morning?"
The other person thinks for a moment and replies, "Actually, I prefer tea."
In this case, the word actually introduces unexpected information,
The listener expected one answer.
but the speaker gives a slightly different answer.
Let's imagine a situation at work.
Two coworkers are discussing a project.
One coworker says, "This project looks very simple."
The other coworker responds carefully.
The coworker says, "Actually, it might take more time than we expect."
In this example, actually introduces a different perspective.
It helps the speaker explain the situation politely.
Now, let's imagine another friendly conversation.
Two friends are planning the weekend.
One friend asks, "Are you staying home this weekend?"
The other friend smiles and says, "Actually, I'm visiting my grandparents."
The listener might feel a little surprised.
Because the plan is different from what they expected.
This is another natural way people use the word actually.
Let's imagine a small story.
A person is talking about a new restaurant in town.
The person says, "I thought the restaurant would be very expensive."
Then the person continues speaking.
The person says, "But actually, the prices were very reasonable."
That sounds like a pleasant surprise.
Yes, sometimes the word actually introduces surprising information.
Something different from what people expect.
This makes conversations more interesting.
Let's imagine another simple example.
Someone is talking about a movie,
The person says, "I thought the movie would be boring."
but the person continues.
The person says, "Actually, it was very exciting."
Again, the word actually introduces a surprising idea.
These examples show how flexible this word can be.
It can correct information,
It can introduce unexpected ideas.
and it can make conversations sound more natural.
When you listen to English conversations, you will hear this word very often.
People use it in daily life,
In conversations at work,
in discussions with friends.
and even when telling simple stories.
Sometimes people use it many times in one conversation.
Listening carefully will help you notice these patterns.
And practicing these sentences aloud will help you use the word naturally.
Over time, the word actually will begin to feel comfortable in your own speech.
Just like it does for people who speak English every day.
In many conversations, the word actually appears when someone wants to clarify something.
Yes, sometimes people use actually when they realize that the information needs a small correction.
Imagine two friends talking about a meeting at work.
One friend says, "The meeting starts at 3 o'clock, right?"
The other friend checks the schedule and replies, "Actually, the meeting starts at 2:30.
In that sentence, the word actually introduces the correct information,
It helps the correction sound polite.
instead of sounding direct or strong.
Let's imagine another everyday situation.
Two coworkers are discussing a project deadline.
One coworker says, "I think we have until next Friday to finish the project."
The other coworker looks at the email from the manager.
The coworker says, "Actually, the deadline is this Wednesday."
That could surprise the whole team.
Yes, and that is another moment when people often use the word actually.
It helps introduce information that might be unexpected.
Let's imagine a situation at a cafe.
A customer is looking at the menu.
The customer asks the server, "Is this sandwich very spicy?"
The server smiles and says, "Actually, it is not spicy at all."
That answer helps correct the customer's expectation.
The customer might then say, "Oh, that sounds perfect."
Now let's imagine another friendly conversation.
Two friends are talking about hobbies.
One friend says, "I thought you didn't like sports."
The other friend laughs and replies, "Actually, I enjoy playing tennis."
That sentence introduces information that the listener did not expect.
Sometimes people use actually when they want to share something surprising.
Let's imagine a small story.
A person is talking about a trip they recently took.
The person says, "I expected the trip to be very difficult."
But then the person continues.
The person says, "Actually, everything went very smoothly."
That word shows a contrast between expectation and reality.
Let's imagine another example.
Someone is talking about learning a new skill.
The person says, "I thought learning the guitar would be very hard."
Then the person smiles.
The person says, "Actually, it is quite enjoyable."
Many people feel that way about learning something new.
Yes, sometimes our expectations are different from our experiences.
And the word actually helps express that difference.
Let's imagine a short conversation between coworkers.
One coworker says, "You must be very busy today."
The other coworker replies, "Actually, today is a quiet day for me."
That answer gently changes the listener's assumption.
Now imagine a conversation about food.
One friend says, "I heard that restaurant is very expensive."
The other friend replies, "Actually, the prices are quite reasonable."
That could be good news for people who want to eat there.
These examples show how natural this word is in English conversations.
It appears when correcting information,
When sharing surprising details,
and when gently changing someone's assumption.
listening carefully will help you recognize these moments.
The more you hear the word actually, the easier it becomes to understand.
And when you practice speaking, you can begin to use it naturally,
Over time, the word will feel like a normal part of conversation.
just like it does for people who speak English every day.
And that is exactly what we want for our learning journey.
Sometimes people use the word actually when they want to gently change what someone believes.
Yes, it is a polite way to correct an idea without sounding too direct.
Imagine two friends talking about a movie.
One friend says, "That movie must be very boring."
The other friend smiles and replies, "Actually, it's quite interesting."
The word actually softens the correction.
Instead of saying, "You are wrong,"
The speaker simply shares a different experience.
let's imagine another small situation.
Two coworkers are talking during a coffee break.
One coworker says, "You must live very far from the office."
The other coworker replies, "Actually, I live only 10 minutes away."
That answer corrects the assumption.
But it still sounds friendly and relaxed.
Many conversations include small misunderstandings like this.
Yes, and the word actually helps people correct them politely.
Let's imagine another everyday conversation.
Two friends are talking about food.
One friend says, You probably don't like spicy food.
The other friend laughs and says, "Actually, I love spicy food."
That sentence changes the expectation.
The listener learns something new.
Let's imagine a situation at school.
A student is talking to a classmate.
The classmate says, I heard you studied abroad last year.
The student replies, "Actually, I studied abroad 2 years ago."
That small correction helps clarify the information.
And again, the word actually keeps the tone friendly.
Let's imagine another short story.
A person is talking about their weekend plans.
The person says, I thought I would stay home this weekend.
But then the person continues speaking.
The person says, actually, I decided to visit my cousin.
That shows a change in plans.
The word actually introduces the new information.
Let's imagine another conversation.
Two coworkers are discussing a report.
One coworker says, "This report should be finished tomorrow."
The other coworker looks at the project schedule.
The coworker says, "Actually, the final report is due next week."
That correction could make everyone feel more relaxed.
Good extra time is always welcome.
Yes, it is.
Let's imagine a conversation about hobbies.
One friend says, you probably spend your weekends relaxing at home.
The other friend replies, "Actually, I enjoy hiking on the weekends."
That answer introduces something surprising.
The listener learns something new about the friend.
Now let's imagine someone talking about a new skill.
The person says, "I thought learning English would be extremely difficult."
Then the person smiles.
The person says, "Actually, it has been very enjoyable."
That sentence shows how expectations can change.
The word actually highlights the difference between expectation and reality.
Let's imagine one more situation.
Two people are talking about the weather.
One person says, it looks like it will rain all day.
The other person checks the weather app.
The person says, actually, the rain will stop in the afternoon.
That information changes the situation.
Maybe the afternoon will be perfect for a walk.
Good weather always improves people's mood.
These examples show how useful the word actually can be.
It helps correct information,
It introduces surprising ideas.
and it makes conversations sound natural and friendly.
When you listen to English conversations, you will hear this word often.
People use it when sharing new information
When changing expectations,
and when gently correcting a misunderstanding.
listening carefully will help you recognize these patterns.
And practicing these sentences will help you use the word naturally.
Over time, actually will become a comfortable part of your conversations.
Just like it is for people who speak English every day.
In many conversations, people also use the word actually when sharing something surprising.
Yes, sometimes the speaker wants to introduce information that the listener does not expect.
Imagine two friends talking about their daily routine.
One friend says, "You probably wake up very late on weekends."
The other friend smiles and replies, actually, I wake up earlier on weekends than on weekdays.
That answer might surprise the listener.
Yes, because the expectation was different.
The word actually helps introduce that surprising detail.
Let's imagine another situation.
Two coworkers are talking about lunch plans.
One coworker says, I guess you usually eat lunch at your desk.
The other coworker replies, "Actually, I prefer eating outside in the park."
That answer changes the assumption.
And it sounds friendly and relaxed.
Many people enjoy a little fresh air during lunch.
Yes, it helps people relax during a busy day.
Let's imagine another everyday moment.
Two friends are talking about exercise.
One friend says, you probably don't enjoy running.
The other friend laughs and replies, "Actually, I run every morning."
That sentence shares unexpected information.
The listener learns something new.
Let's imagine a conversation about travel.
One person says, "Traveling must be very stressful for you."
The other person responds calmly.
The person says, "Actually, I enjoy traveling very much."
That response gently changes the listener's belief.
And again, the word actually keeps the tone polite.
Let's imagine another small story.
A person is talking about learning something new.
The person says, I thought learning photography would be very difficult.
But then the person continues.
The person says, Actually, it is quite relaxing.
That sentence highlights the difference between expectation and reality.
Let's imagine another everyday conversation.
Two friends are talking about a restaurant.
One friend says, "That restaurant must be very expensive."
The other friend replies, "Actually, the prices are quite reasonable."
That information might encourage the friend to visit the restaurant.
Good food at a reasonable price is always welcome.
Let's imagine a situation at work.
Two coworkers are discussing a project.
One coworker says, "This project looks very easy."
The other coworker thinks for a moment and says, "Actually, it might take more time than we expect."
That sentence introduces a different perspective.
It gently prepares the team for a challenge.
Now let's imagine a friendly conversation about hobbies.
One friend says, "You probably spend most of your time watching television."
The other friend replies, "Actually, I enjoy painting in my free time."
That answer reveals something interesting.
The listener might feel curious.
Maybe the friend will ask more questions about painting.
Conversations often grow from small surprises like this.
Yes, they do.
Let's imagine one more example.
A person is talking about a movie they watched recently.
The person says, "I thought the movie would be very boring."
Then the person continues.
The person says, "Actually, it was one of the most exciting movies I have seen this year."
That word shows how the opinion changed.
And it adds a little excitement to the story.
These examples show how flexible the word actually can be.
It helps introduce new information.
It helps express surprise.
And it helps correct assumptions in a polite way.
When you listen to English conversations, you will hear this word very often.
People use it naturally when explaining their thoughts.
And when sharing something unexpected.
Listening carefully will help you notice how speakers use it.
And practicing these sentences aloud will help you use it confidently.
Over time, the word actually will feel natural in your own conversations.
Just like it does for people who speak English every day.
Sometimes people use the word actually when they want to add a small detail to a conversation.
Yes, it can help the speaker introduce new information in a natural way.
Imagine two friends talking about their work schedules.
One friend says, "You must be very busy this week."
The other friend thinks for a moment and replies, "Actually, this week is a little quieter."
That sentence changes the listener's assumption.
The speaker is explaining the situation more clearly.
Let's imagine another everyday conversation.
Two coworkers are talking about their commute.
One coworker says, "It must take you a long time to get to work."
The other coworker smiles and replies, "Actually, it only takes about 15 minutes."
That answer might surprise the listener.
Yes, because the listener expected a longer commute.
The word actually helps introduce that surprising detail.
Let's imagine another short situation.
Two friends are talking about food preferences.
One friend says, "I guess you don't like spicy food."
The other friend laughs and replies, "Actually, I enjoy spicy food very much."
That sentence gently changes the expectation.
And it also adds personality to the conversation.
Food conversations often reveal interesting surprises.
Yes, everyone has different tastes.
Let's imagine another short conversation.
A person is talking about their weekend plans.
A friend asks, "Are you staying home this weekend?"
The person replies, "Actually, I'm visiting my sister."
The listener might feel curious.
Maybe the listener will ask more questions.
For example, "Where does your sister live?"
Or, "How long will you stay there?"
Small details often make conversations more interesting.
And the word actually helps introduce those details.
Let's imagine another situation at work.
Two coworkers are talking about a new employee.
One coworker says, "The new employee seems very quiet."
The other coworker replies, "Actually, he is very friendly once you talk to him."
That answer changes the first impression.
Sometimes first impressions are not completely accurate.
Let's imagine a conversation about hobbies.
One friend says, "You probably spend most of your free time watching television."
The other friend replies, Actually, I spend most of my free time reading books.
That sentence gives a clearer picture of the person's habits.
The listener might feel interested.
Maybe the listener will ask about favorite books.
Conversations often grow from small details like this.
Yes, they do.
Let's imagine another short story.
Someone is talking about learning a new skill.
The person says, I thought learning to cook would be very difficult.
Then the person smiles.
The person says, actually, it has been very enjoyable.
That sentence shows how expectations can change.
And it also shows the speaker's experience.
Let's imagine another friendly conversation.
Two friends are discussing exercise.
One friend says, "You probably don't have time to exercise."
The other friend replies, actually, I exercise every morning before work.
That answer might inspire the listener.
Yes, it shows a healthy routine.
These examples show how useful the word actually can be.
It helps correct assumptions,
It introduces surprising information.
and it adds helpful details to a conversation.
Listening carefully will help you recognize these moments.
The more you hear the word actually, the more natural it will feel.
And practicing these sentences will help you use it confidently.
Over time, actually will become a natural part of your speaking.
Just like it is for people who speak English every day.
Sometimes the word actually appears when people tell stories about their experiences.
Yes, especially when the experience turns out to be different from what they expected.
Imagine someone talking about their first day at a new job.
The person says, "I thought the first day would be very stressful."
Then the person continues speaking.
The person says, "Actually, everyone was very friendly and helpful."
That sentence shows a contrast between expectation and reality.
And the word actually helps express that change clearly.
Let's imagine another small story.
A person is talking about learning a new language.
The person says, I believed learning English would be very difficult.
But after practicing for a while, the person says something different.
The person says, actually, learning English can be very enjoyable.
Many learners discover that over time.
Yes, sometimes the journey becomes more interesting than we expected.
Let's imagine another everyday situation.
Two friends are talking about a restaurant they recently visited.
One friend says, "I thought that restaurant would be too crowded."
The other friend replies, actually, it was very quiet when we went there.
That information changes the picture of the situation.
The listener might now feel curious about visiting the restaurant.
Let's imagine another conversation.
Someone is talking about a movie they watched last night.
The person says, "I expected the movie to be boring."
Then the person smiles.
The person says, "Actually, it turned out to be very exciting."
That small word helps introduce the surprise.
It makes the story feel more natural.
Let's imagine another everyday moment.
Two coworkers are talking about their weekend.
One coworker asks, did you stay home all weekend?
The other coworker replies, "Actually, I went hiking with some friends."
That answer introduces unexpected information.
The listener might now ask more questions,
Maybe they will ask where the hike took place.
or how long the hike was.
Conversations often grow when someone shares something surprising.
Yes, they do.
Let's imagine one more example.
Someone is talking about waking up early.
The person says, I thought waking up early would feel terrible.
Then the person explains the experience.
The person says, actually, waking up early makes me feel more energetic.
That sentence shows a change in opinion.
And the word actually highlights that change.
Let's imagine another simple conversation.
Two friends are discussing hobbies.
One friend says, "You probably spend most evenings watching television."
The other friend replies, actually, I usually spend my evenings practicing the guitar.
That answer gives new information.
The listener may feel interested.
Perhaps they will ask about the music the friend plays.
These examples show how helpful the word actually can be.
It helps correct assumptions.
It introduces surprising information.
and it helps people tell stories in a natural way.
When you listen to English conversations, you will hear this word often.
Native speakers use it naturally in daily life,
In conversations with friends,
in discussions at work.
and when telling simple stories about their day.
Listening carefully will help you recognize how it is used.
And repeating these sentences aloud will help you practice using it.
Over time, the word actually will become a comfortable part of your speaking.
Just like it is for people who speak English every day.
Thank you for practicing English with us today.
We truly enjoy learning together with you.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English every day.
And we look forward to seeing you again here on Talk English Every Day.